Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're going to break down the Itlx Decentralized Exchange, or DEX. And don't worry, we're going to use some super simple, everyday examples to make this as easy to understand as ordering your favorite street food.
All right, so let's get right into it. What is a DEX? Well, the best way to picture it is like your local village market. A bougie bazaar. It's a place where you trade directly with other people. There's no big company in the middle. A DEX takes that exact same idea and applies it to crypto. The bottom line is, you are always in full control of your own digital stuff.
Okay, so here's a quick look at our game plan. We'll start with what Itlx is, then walk you through getting set up, cover the basics of trading and swapping, peek at some advanced features, and wrap it all up with the most important part, security. Sound good? Let's do it.
So let's keep that village market idea in our heads as we jump into our first section. What exactly is Itlx, and what really makes it different from the other exchanges you might have heard about?
Okay, this is probably the most important thing to get right off the bat. It all comes down to control. Using a DEX like Itlx is kind of like having your own personal digital safe, your tijori. You and only you have the key. On the other hand, a centralized exchange, a CEX, is more like a bank locker. Sure, it's convenient, but at the end of the day, the bank has a master key and controls it. And that difference is just fundamental to how you think about security in the whole crypto space.
Now, this chart does a great job of breaking down the trade-offs, right? With Itlx, a trade takes a few seconds to get confirmed on the blockchain, a bit like making a deal directly with someone in the village. And what do you get for that little bit of a wait? Complete control, total self-custody. A CX, on the other hand, is instant, just like a supermarket checkout. But the catch is you have to trust them with your money. So you can see there are pros and cons to each, from the security of your own safe to the specialized feel of a home-cooked platform.
Okay, so we know what Itlx is. Now, how do you actually get started? Think of this next part as forging the key to your own digital house. And trust me, it's a lot simpler than it sounds. There are really just two key steps to get going. First, you'll download the Interlink app and do a quick face scan. This is called proof of personhood, and it basically works like linking your Aadhaar card to prove you're a real unique person. It's a great way to keep bots out. Next, you create your wallet, and this is going to give you something called a seed phrase. This is the master key to everything. I cannot stress this enough. You have to write it down, store it somewhere safe offline, and never ever share it with anyone. Seriously. Getting some funds into your new wallet is actually pretty simple. You can either send over some crypto you already have, or you can use the peer-to-peer or P2P feature. That P2P option, it works pretty much just like a direct UPI payment. You're basically just buying tokens directly from another person in a secure marketplace. All right, you've got money in your wallet. Now for the fun part. Let's look at the two most common things you'll do on any exchange: trading and swapping.
So, spot trading is basically where you get to name your price. You place an order to buy or sell at a very specific price that you choose. It's just like trying to get a good deal on a camel at a fair in Rajasthan. You're not just taking whatever they offer, you're setting your own terms for the deal.
Now, swapping is even easier. It's just an instant trade of one token for another at whatever the current market price is. Think of it like a simple barter, trading your tea for someone else's rice. And bridging? What's that? It's a really cool tool that lets you move your crypto from one blockchain, like Ethereum, over to a different one, like Solana. It's literally a bridge for your assets to cross over. Okay, for those of you who are feeling a bit more adventurous and are ready to look past the basics, Itlx does offer some really powerful advanced tools. But, and this is a big but, you absolutely have to approach these with caution because the risk is much, much higher.
So you see this number, 100x? That's leverage. On Itlx, you can get up to 100x leverage, which means you could trade with up to 100 times the amount of money you actually have in your account.
And this right here, this warning from the community, this is absolutely key. Yeah, 100x leverage is there, but managing your risk is completely non-negotiable. This is definitely not a toy for beginners to play with.
This farm analogy really hits it home, doesn't it? Imagine taking out a huge loan to expand your farm. If you have a great harvest, the profits are massive. But if the harvest fails, you could lose the entire farm. Think about it. With 100x leverage, if the price moves just 1% against you, poof, your entire investment could be gone. So for anyone starting out, I'd strongly recommend either using the demo mode or just sticking to 5x leverage or less. All right, let's talk about something a lot safer for growing your assets: staking.
Honestly, just think of it like a fixed deposit, or FD, at a bank. It's that simple. You lock up your ITLG tokens for a certain amount of time, and in return, you earn rewards in ITL tokens. It's a really popular way to earn some passive income on what you're holding.
Okay, we've covered a ton of ground here, from setting up your wallet all the way to advanced trading. So let's wrap this up with what is, without a doubt, the single most important topic: keeping your crypto safe. The number one thing to remember with a DEX is this: your security is on you. That means always, always use the official app. Make sure you enable two-factor authentication. You have to be super careful about random links or QR codes people send you. As the community is always warning, fake ITLX links are a huge scam. And hey, if you're dealing with larger amounts, a hardware wallet is really the best way to go for top-level security.
And that brings us to maybe the most important piece of advice I can give you: patience. There's this wonderful Marathi proverb, "Dire dire re mana dire," which means go slowly, oh mind, go slowly. You've got to remember that crypto is not a get-rich-quick scheme. The real key is to take your time, learn what you're doing, manage your risk, and focus on your long-term goals.
So there you have it. We've given you the map, we've shown you the tools for the ITLX decentralized exchange. Now the next step in this journey, well, that's up to you. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer.